Dr. Fatimah Lateef.
Thank you, Chairman. I would like to ask the Minister on the civil-military cooperation. And this is not pertaining to the community involvement or the laypersons who are trained to respond to crises like under C2E and all that. This is more about the Singaporeans who form part of international humanitarian teams or respond to international humanitarian activities around the world, whether it's war-related or natural disaster-related. And these are people who are disaster, medically, and also technically trained, and they can actually value add to the response of a crisis that we have here. How are we, or perhaps MINDEF, engaging with them and working together with them? Thank you.
Thank you. That's the kernel of the idea behind the Changi Regional Humanitarian Center. And it came about because we recognized after Cyclone Nargis, after Nepal, that the first 2 to 3 days after an incident occurs are where you have the least coordinated responses, even if all the resources are there. So for instance, if you remember the typhoon in Philippines, we sent the Charlie 130, and the reason they were underutilized was that there were no air command and control facilities. Only the Americans could, because I think they had their aircraft carrier and they were able to control the airspace. So even though our Charlies were sent there, they couldn't be deployed optimally. So we set up this to coordinate military responses. But obviously, as Professor Fatimah Lateef rightly points out, humanitarian agencies include the whole ecosystem of civil groups, of UN groups. So we've expanded it and linked up with the UN. We've linked up with other humanitarian organizations, and I think we've had 1 or 2 equivalent of tabletop exercises to say, if something happens, who do I contact? And we've offered for these civil groups, these volunteer groups, to be physically based in Changi, if they can spare it. So this is an ongoing effort. I think we just have to keep increasing our contacts, increasing our efficiency, and when the next crisis strikes, I think Singapore can play a more definitive and contribute more.